is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Good morning, I'm Lauren Casey. The time right now is 4:27. It is Friday. It's also May 1st. Thanks for joining us. We do have a few things to get to before we get into our show this morning, starting with your top stories, including the stay-at-home order here in the state of Indiana set to expire today. Now, we're going to learn more from Governor Holcomb about what this means for all of us in the state of Indiana, what this means for business owners around the state later at his press briefing this afternoon. Is this order going to be extended? Are we going to see partial openings? So he's going to break that down and what that means for us. We do know that here in Indianapolis, Mayor Joe Hogsett has extended the stay-at-home order until May 15th for people in Marion County. So no changes for you here if you live or work in Marion County, but we're waiting again to hear what businesses can expect around other parts of the state later today. Let's get to those latest numbers in the state from the State Health Department on the coronavirus update. We've learned as of yesterday that there have been more than 1,000 deaths in the Hoosier state, with 669 new cases reported. We know that more than 18,000 people have tested positive since the pandemic first started here in Indiana. So we'll get an update on those numbers coming up later this afternoon around your lunch hour. Let's take a turn right now to our forecast. We had kind of a rough day in the forecast yesterday, Todd, but it is looking up as we head into the weekend.
You know, Lauren, yesterday I was outside doing a little work in the yard, and I'm like, is this November? You just weren't sure. It was so chilly. We had some showers around. We had that wind. Well, it's all in the past now, as we have a great day on tap for us here across the area today. It gets off to a little bit of a chilly start with temperatures that are in the 30s and 40s. 39 in Logansport, 46 in Bloomington, 45 is the current temperature in Muncie. But as we go throughout the day with plenty of sunshine back in the forecast, we will see these temperatures warm very, very quickly throughout the day today, with highs that eventually get back into the mid to upper 60s. The wind not as much of an issue. And tomorrow's forecast is even warmer. We'll talk more about that coming up here throughout Good Morning Indiana.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Well, we are taking a look at how the coronavirus pandemic is impacting businesses and Hoosiers around the state, including farmers. Our Kelsey Anderson is going to take us all the way out to Greenfield, a farmer in Hancock County who's actually seeing a business boom during this pandemic due to shortages at those big box grocery stores. So we'll tell you how he is managing the uptick in business and what he hopes as the state reopens. We'll have that story, plus your local news, weather, and traffic coming up to start your Friday right here on Good Morning Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
The state's stay-at-home order is expected to expire at midnight. Now at 4:30, we're learning more about the governor's plan once the order ends. Restaurant owners across the state are getting prepared to reopen their doors. Working for you, we're looking at some of the procedures one owner is putting in place to keep you and his employees safe. And a number of gig workers say they've had trouble getting unemployment claims approved by the government. This morning, we're getting answers on what you should do if your claim is denied. But before we get to those top stories, I want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana. Thanks for joining us on this Friday, May 1st. I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is social distancing and joining us from his home studio today. And Todd, this is the day that I've been waiting for all week. Not only is it Friday, we're in a new month, but we have a great forecast.
Yeah, you know, when you looked at the 7-day planning forecast all week, it kind of jumped out at you that Friday and also the Saturday forecast, which we'll dive into in a little bit here. But it's a little chilly this morning. If you are getting up early for that walk in the neighborhood, you're going to have to bundle up just a little bit. Temperatures are sitting in the 30s and 40s, 41 in Indianapolis, 46 in Bloomington, 39 in Tipton. The wind has calmed down. That is the good news, and the clouds are finally moving out. You do notice still just a little bit of cloud cover here over towards the Muncie, the Newcastle area, down towards Rushville as well. But they'll continue to push off towards the east as that storm system that was to the east is going to start to move out as well. There you are in Greensburg as well, just dealing with the lingering cloud cover. The rain is now pushing through central Ohio down into West Virginia. So we are dry today. We are dry tomorrow as well. We'll enjoy lots of sunshine and nice temperatures heading our way. 57 degrees here by the noon hour. 24 with sunny skies and temperatures today, Lauren, going all the way up into the mid to upper 60s. Some locations will be in the 70s. If you don't get there today, you will get there tomorrow. More on that weekend coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Want to take you out live from our INDOT traffic camera. This is on the north side of town where traffic's moving along up to speed on I-465 near Ditch Road. Now, we've been mentioning that Ditch Road Bridge project. Crews planning to do asphalt and sidewalk work there the past couple days. Well, due to all the rain and the wet roads we had out there, they were unable to complete that work. So the work has now been extended to today, tomorrow, that's Saturday, and also Sunday. So expect that over the weekend from about 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. And they're hoping to have that wrapped up. Again, we're supposed to have great weather over the weekend, so that project should remain on that schedule. Let's take a look right now over to the west side. This is I-70 near the Sam Jones Expressway, where traffic is moving along up to speed in both directions. We'll continue to keep a close eye on your roads and keep you updated on any issues. But now here at 432, we want to get you and your family caught up with the latest on the coronavirus pandemic in our state. Our state is now reporting more than 1,000 COVID-19 deaths. In Indiana, there's also 669 new coronavirus cases. Nearly 18,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for COVID-19 since the pandemic began. And right now, Indiana's stay-at-home order is set to expire at midnight. But Governor Holcomb says he will not give an update on it this afternoon. He will give an update on it this afternoon, including directives for the public and businesses. It's unclear if the stay-at-home order will be extended, lifted, or partially lifted. On Thursday, Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogg said extended Marion County stay-at-home order through at least May 15th. We'll send you a push alert on the RTV6 app just as soon as we learn more. Testing numbers are likely to go way up with new sites opening up across our state and the criteria to get tested expanding. A free testing site opened up on Thursday at Eastern Star Church. That location is on 30th Street near Arlington Avenue on the city's east side. The city announcing that this location last week is part of a push to address racial disparities that are related to the virus.
This is absolutely vital to get a handle on the pandemic that we have in the great city of Indianapolis.
Well, you're encouraged to register to get tested by going to marionhealth.org/IndyCovid. Tuesday, the state announced 50 testing sites will open over the next 2 weeks. In light of Mayor Hogsett's announcement, Simon Mall says it will not open its 3 malls in Indianapolis tomorrow. The company's chief administrative officer says Simon is left with no choice due to the city's extension. That decision came out hours after Marion County's top health official said she was, quote, very concerned with Simon's plans to reopen local malls this weekend. The company still plans to open 7 malls in Indiana on Monday. Macy's will start reopening stores as early as next week. The retailer announcing plans to open 68 stores on a limited basis starting Monday. Macy's CEO says in states easing social distancing restrictions like Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee, those will open first. All 775 Macy's stores could be up and running in the next 6 weeks, according to leaders at the retailer. It is 4:35. No matter when they're allowed to open, a local restaurant chain will be ready with some extra safety precautions in place. Scott Wolf owns 7 restaurants in Hamilton County, including the Wolfies locations. He says making sure staff and members and customers also feel safe is his top priority. There will be changes you'll notice, like tables spread out at least 6 feet apart, and changes you're not going to notice, like workers taking their temperatures daily.
We understand how important this is to open up the right way. It's so important that we exceed and excel in making sure that we're following all the guidelines and that we're communicating to our employees and our customers that it's going to be safe to go out.
Waiting for a table is also going to be a little different to prevent people from just standing around in a small area. Wolf says his restaurants will have staging locations monitored by employees. Once those fill up, guests will be required to wait in their cars. We've heard from many self-employed Hoosiers here, independent contractors, and also gig workers who've run into a lot of trouble applying for their federal benefits after losing work due to COVID-19. The Department of Workforce Development is answering an important question for people who are trying to apply for pandemic unemployment assistance through the state's brand new system. The commissioner says the most commonly asked question they've been getting is why it appears that applicants are being denied.
As a reminder, that's part of our process. Keep in mind that in order to qualify for PUA, an individual must not be eligible for regular unemployment insurance benefits. The system will provide you with any next steps after you receive that notice.
Commissioner Payne says that his department answered more than 1 million calls in April, and they know that wait times are still an issue. So he says additional staff members are being trained to answer your questions. Of course, we'll keep you updated. Well, the General Motors plant in Kokomo is adding more than 1,000 jobs at their facility as they work to produce 30,000 ventilators through August. Vice President Mike Pence toured the facility on Thursday, and he praised GM and local workers for their life-saving efforts.
I've said it many times at the podium at the White House. I'll say it again. We're going to get through this. The day will come when we put this coronavirus epidemic in the past. We're going to save lives every day between now and that great day. And each and every one of you will have played a vital role in ensuring that that happens on an increasing basis.
GM will hold a virtual job fair on Wednesday to help fill the positions at the Kokomo plant. That starts at 11 a.m. For more information on how you can sign up for that job fair, you can just visit our website, hiringhoosiers.com. This morning, the former owners of Indiana Beach face hundreds of customer complaints.
It was a cheap way for a middle-class family to have entertainment, all throughout the summer.
Well, working for you, Call 6 Investigates is looking at what happens to those complaints now that the park is under new ownership. And we've been alerting you to the impacts of vaping for more than a year now. And this morning, we're highlighting the damage e-cigarettes could be doing to your heart. Todd.
And Lauren, the clouds and the showers from yesterday are on their way out of central Indiana. You look back to the west here and you see a lot of clear skies. That's what we enjoy for the day today and into the first half of your weekend. We'll talk all about it coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. Time now is 4:38. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV 6.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 4:41. It is Friday. Thanks for joining us. Here is a live look of downtown Indianapolis, a view to the east. We have a beautiful Friday on tap. Todd Clausen will have your full forecast for today and look ahead to your weekend. That's coming up right here on Good Morning Indiana. But now hundreds of amusement park fans have filed complaints with the Indiana Attorney General against the previous owners of Indiana Beach. Those Indiana consumers say they bought season passes only to learn the park would close. Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny has been digging into this and found out what the new ownership could mean for people who are left in the lurch.
Lisa's story has been coming to Indiana Beach since she was a little kid and now brings her own family to the Monticello amusement park.
We love the roller coasters, but Falling Star is probably our favorite.
Josh Bauscher feels the same way about Indiana Beach.
It was a cheap way for a middle-class family to have entertainment, all throughout the summer for your kids. And then I was able to do that with my kids over the last couple years.
They spent hundreds of dollars on 2020 season passes. But in February, Apex Parks Groups announced it would close Indiana Beach, leaving customers like Lisa and Josh in limbo.
It kind of hit me later that I'd spent all that money and I wasn't going to be able to utilize those passes.
We talked to them in March before the COVID-19 pandemic and social distancing came about.
We contacted the Attorney Generals and then we contacted you guys for help.
After Lisa reached out to Call 6 Investigates, we started digging and found more than 200 complaints filed with the Indiana Attorney General's office against Apex Parks regarding refunds for passes and campsites. Paul Wenthold and Damon Downey of West Lafayette also filed complaints with the state.
They're taking my money and not providing any service.
Why file a complaint?
For me, it's completely about the principle. $120 is $120, but it's about the principle.
On April 23rd, White County officials announced Indiana Beach has a new owner, Chicago businessman Gene Staples. Call 6 Investigates did some checking and found the new owner will honor 2020 season passes. That means Lisa, Josh, Paul, Damon, and hundreds of other park goers won't need refunds after all. Their complaints remain open with the Attorney General's office, who will work to resolve their concerns with Apex. We followed up with them via phone, and they're all ecstatic the park will remain open and their passes will be honored.
This place has been open since 1926, so it's definitely a huge part of our community here.
They're looking forward to countless fun summers ahead. Kara Kenny, RTV 6.
Kara, thank you. Well, season passes cost about $40 each under Apex Parks. We reached out to the previous and current owners of Indiana Beach, but they did not get back with us on our interview request. We'll continue to reach out about the plans to operate this summer as this pandemic continues. It is 4:44. Today is International Workers' Day, and those currently on the front line say they're going to use it to demand more protection on the job. Workers from several big companies are planning a walkout. Those include Amazon, Walmart, Target, and Instacart. Many of the companies have made changes to protect the health and safety of employees during this pandemic, but workers say it's not enough. All right, it is time now for a check of our forecast. And Todd, something I noticed as I was driving in, you haven't left your house yet, but the moon, it's only about half full, but it's really big and bright this morning.
Yeah, you know, we got rid of those clouds and the skies are clear. The air is very dry, and with clear skies and when the air is dry, there's no moisture in the air. You can see the moon or the stars very, very easily, and it's very bright. And so spectacular here this morning. I'll take your word for that, Lauren. You're right. I haven't. I went from upstairs to downstairs to the basement. Here this morning, temperatures are in the 30s and 40s right now. 46 in Bloomington, 45 is the current temperature in Muncie, and Peru sitting at 38 degrees. In and around the metro area, temperatures are generally in the low 40s anywhere you go. In fact, 42 is the common number there from Plainfield to Fishers down towards the Greenwood area. Little bit of lingering cloud cover still from Muncie over towards Richmond and Greensburg. Otherwise, everybody else is completely cleared out across the area, and that's going to set us up for a great day with lots of sunshine. You notice all the clear skies that are off to our west from St. Louis to Chicago, and then you do notice in Omaha a little bit of rain starting to move in, and eventually that'll start to get here as we work our way into tomorrow evening. But for today, enjoy the sunshine. With the sunshine right off the bat this morning, we will have temperatures warm very, very quickly, going from the mid-40s into the mid-50s, back about 60 degrees already by the noon hour. We didn't even sniff the mid-50s yesterday for high temperatures, and then eventually, with a little more in the way of high thin cloud cover by this afternoon, temperatures will be climbing up into the mid-60s. It's Friday. You might want to fire up the grill. Yesterday, obviously, you weren't out in the patio. You weren't outside much at all, grilling especially. Temperatures today will be in the mid-60s throughout the evening hours, and sunset, of course, now not until after 8:30 in the evening. Tomorrow, start making those plans. It's a beautiful day with lots of sunshine. Get out there and enjoy. Look at the temperature all the way up to close to 80 degrees tomorrow for your afternoon high. You do notice by 11 p.m., though, I do have the rain icon in there, and that's because late Saturday into Sunday, there's going to be a cold front coming through, and this cold front, it looked like yesterday was going to be a little later in the day. It's speeding up just a little bit now. And so throughout the overnight hours, Sunday into Monday, there will be a little bit of rain that'll be moving through. And it could linger into the first couple hours after sunrise on Sunday, but then it drops down to the south. So for the second half of Sunday, we will feature sunshine in the forecast. So you'll have to just be a little bit patient on Sunday as those showers depart in the morning hours. And then we get into the sunshine behind that cold front. Not that much colder, 70 degrees, so it's pretty nice. And then Monday, 70 degrees as well before some slightly cooler air starts to work its way in for the middle of next week, with temperatures by Tuesday, Lauren, in the mid-60s.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Here's a look right now at traffic. This is over on the east side. Want to give you a reminder as we're getting ready to head into the weekend. We still have I-70 closed in both directions on the east side between the North Split and 465 for ongoing road work by NDOT. So we'll keep you updated on when contractors are wrapping up work in either direction, but right now everything remains closed. So let's take it down right now to Johnson County, give you a live look at I-65, the exit to Main Street in Greenwood. You can see things are quiet here at this hour. We'll keep you updated if there are any issues for your commute. This morning, the Trump administration is ahead of schedule withdrawing American troops from Afghanistan. The U.S. now has fewer than 10,000 troops in Afghanistan, putting it ahead of schedule that it made with the peace deal with the Taliban. By mid-July, the U.S. pledged to reduce its total number of troops to 8,600. That's down from the total of 12,000 to 13,000 soldiers the U.S. had in Afghanistan earlier this year. One U.S. defense official says the coronavirus pandemic has accelerated the schedule. Bernie Sanders gets to keep many of his Democratic National Convention delegates under a new deal. Friends of Bernie Sanders and the Biden campaign reached the agreement on Thursday and released a joint memo outlining the details. The Vermont senator will be allowed to maintain a large amount of delegates at the Democratic Party's convention that he would have otherwise forfeited when he dropped out of the race. Representation at the convention is critical for Sanders to maintain influence on the party's platform and rules. At 4:49, a new study is adding more fuel to the fire, saying that vaping is just as dangerous as traditional cigarettes. Researchers at Boston University studied a group of 400 people. Some smoked cigarettes, some vaped tobacco, and some didn't smoke at all. They found vaping and smoking had very similar effects on the arteries and blood vessels. Researchers say that many smokers switch to e-cigarettes because they think they're healthier. But now there's growing concern, a growing number of studies showing that it makes little to no difference. You can't pick up a 7-10 split right now, but you can pick up some tasty pizza, and that helps out the community. After the break, how the Beech Grove Bowl is continuing to serve the community. And the COVID-19 outbreak has made it hard to find some meats in grocery stores, so coming up all new at 5 o'clock, why one local farmer says his business is now booming thanks to this outbreak. The time right now is 4:50. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6. Stick around.
You can make a difference.
Well, whether it's league night or a night out with friends, for many of us, bowling is a fun way to spend an evening. But until the lanes are reopened, alleys are having to hang on in other ways. This morning, Brad Brown shows us how Beech Grove is continuing to support a local favorite.
It's not supposed to be this quiet.
When it's been 3 or 4 weeks and no sound, it's out there.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For decades, Beech Grove has seen these lanes busy until now.
We haven't closed our doors even in tornadoes and things like that, winter ice storms. So to look at them and say, hey, it's done,
Scott Seach has owned Beech Grove Bowl for more than 20 years. The building's been in the heart of downtown BG for more than 70. Not being open is something not often seen here.
We get at least a couple of phone calls every day. Are you open for bowling? Can we come bowl? So our regulars are just dying. All of us, we're all bowlers. We all want to bowl.
But Scott and his crew have kept the alley's small kitchen going, putting out pizzas and calzones by the dozen, keeping the locals in the loop.
We have a sheeted dough that we were using to make cheese breads out of. Stuffed it, folded it over, and cooked it, and it worked. And we put it on the menu, and it's fastly become our #1 seller. I've actually been in airports in other cities and had people see my shirt and say, oh, I love your calzone.
BG Bowl also has a relief fund for those in need.
We pretty much posted, if you're hungry, out of work, need food, give us a call. We can use that fund to buy you dinner. So it started with $300. There's $900 in it now. We've spent over $1,500 out of it. Every time something like this has happened, the ice storms and things like that, this whole community pulls together.
Hopefully soon the pins will fall here again.
My people are working. I'm working. We know that there's a lot of people who aren't working at all. So, your restaurants, they're there. They know when you need, and we're trying to help as much as we can.
Scott is making some upgrades at Beech Grove Bowl that includes digital ball tracers and alley projection systems. Some very cool stuff there. He also partners with the Didion family in owning All-Star Bowl over on Indy's east side. They're making some renovations there as well. Of course, bowlers all over the Hoosier State are hoping to be back on the lanes soon. Working for you, Brad Brown, RTV6.
All right, Brad, thank you so much. Well, RTV6 and the Indy Chamber of Commerce have joined together as we work to protect Indiana businesses. You can find more out about the Chamber's Buy Indy effort on our website, theindychannel.com/open. There you'll also discover more businesses open and ready to serve you. All right, here at 4:56, let's toss things over to Todd for a look at our Friday forecast. Hey, Todd.
And Lauren, it's a good Friday forecast for us here with skies that'll be mostly sunny throughout the day. A little bit of a cool start this morning, but going up to 67 degrees. Tomorrow close to 80 degrees with skies becoming partly cloudy. Showers are early on Sunday and then sunshine in the afternoon, a high of 70 degrees. Then we keep it right around 70 on Monday before more storms and a little cooler weather arrives Tuesday into Wednesday. But all in all, pretty good forecast here as we enter the month of May. We'll talk more about it coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 4:57. We're back in just a couple minutes.